Good afternoon. My name is Alec Conley. I'm Director of Camping with the Gulfstream Council, and I will be Summer Camp Director this year. And with me today is...
My name is Robert Ulrich, and I get to work as the Program Director for Tonakita Summer Camp 2020.
And so we're both real excited about the prospect of Summer Camp this year, and we wanted to get together with you all this afternoon and kind of bring you up to speed on the updates that we have planned for Summer Camp. We've had some questions from the units, and we want to try to answer as many questions as we can today. So do you have any questions with you, Robert?
A lot of us are expecting a lot of changes coming about regarding COVID and expectedly, right? So we have a lot of operational changes and program updates that are coming out just to really help ensure the safety of our campers. But could you tell us a little bit about what exactly is changing during summer camp?
The Gulfstream Council is committed to providing our campers with a safe, fun, and unforgettable summertime experience. Under the current guidance issued to us by the Centers for Disease Control and the Florida Department of Health, as well as the Outdoor Programs Committee of the Boy Scouts of America, we have implemented several program modifications in order to achieve the following goals. We're establishing cohorts or small groups to limit the potential for widespread outbreak of illness at camp. We're modifying scheduling to ensure time for proper sanitizing of program areas, as well as frequently touched surfaces. We're making efforts to ensure proper physical distancing, and when distancing can't be maintained, face masks will be required. And above all, we want to maintain a fun, high-quality summer camp experience for the Scouts. It's very important for parents and leaders to understand that summer camp this year is going to look very different than it has in the past. However, we weren't going to compromise on the fun. Our staff is working hard to prepare a fun and engaging outdoor program. Summer camp is still summer camp. Scouts from all over are eagerly waiting to return to the outdoors. It's our goal to provide a safe environment while fulfilling the mission of the Boy Scouts of America. While these program changes may seem extensive at first glance, your Scouts are still going to get to do all the things they've enjoyed at camp. Things like taking merit badges, eating in the dining hall. Chef August is back for this year. The trading post will be open. Scuba will be available for those that signed up, as well as Angler Adventure. We're going to have evening programs, fun campfires, flag ceremonies, and much, much more.
What kind of plans does Tonakita Summer Camp have in place to help keep our Scouts safe at summer camp?
We released a full COVID-19 plan that addresses our operational and cleanliness procedures at camp. You can view the full document on the summer camp page at the council website. The new announcement we are rolling out this week has more to do with specific program elements, including scheduling, merit badge selections, adventure programs, etc.
We've had a lot of specific inquiries about things surrounding the operational procedures and cleanliness standards during summer camp. And I want to highlight a few of those. So my first question on that is, what does tenting look like at summer camp?
One of our biggest concerns with an overnight resident camp included the inability to distance in tenting accommodations. Within the campsite, we're offering single occupancy tenting in the normal summer camp tents. The only exception is for relatives. Relatives will be allowed to sleep in tents together. We are still providing our standard A-frame summer camp canvas tents with one summer camp cot. In between camp sessions, these tents will be sprayed and the cots will be changed out. We're also allowing campers to provide their own tents if they would rather opt for that.
What will the dining hall and food service arrangements look like during camp?
We are making a few modifications to make sure that food service can be done in a safe fashion. Our kitchen already maintains Florida Safe Serve standards, which are aimed at mitigating the spread of viruses and foodborne illness. Additional precautions will be taken this summer, including limiting who enters the kitchen and avoiding interactions of kitchen staff with participants. In the dining hall, we will have arranged seating to best allow for physical distancing. When Scouts enter the dining hall, we will ask them to wash and sanitize their hands and wear a mask through the food service line. The staff serving food will be briefed on Safe Serve standards and will be wearing gloves, masks, and hairnets or caps. Once campers serve and sit in an assigned spot, they will remove their mask and enjoy their meal. The campers will be glad to know that Chef August, our very own certified executive chef, will be returning for summer camp this year. If a unit opts to eat outside, we'll have some outside seating available for meal service. Alternatively, units may also choose to bring their food to their campsite to eat.
The next question has to do with check-in. What things do we need to make sure that we're bringing to check-in when we arrive on day one?
For individual participants, you'll need to prepare 2 items. The BSA annual health and medical record, and that has to include parts A, B, and C, and the Gulfstream Council pre-medical screening form. There's some new requirements this year for the health and medical record. Parts A and B must be completed within 2 weeks before arriving at camp. Part C, which requires a physical by a healthcare provider, is also required if you have it. However, if you were unable to get in to see a doctor for a physical, the National Office of the Boy Scouts of America has authorized us to accept Part C's as long as they were done on or after February the 1st, 2019. If you don't have a Part C of any kind, we're also allowed this year to accept a physical that was done for any other organization, such as a school physical or a sports physical. The pre-camp medical screening form should be completed by the participant upon departure for camp. It must be signed by the participant, the parent if the scout is under 18, and the driver if the driver is someone other than the participant or the parent. These forms will be collected on the road into camp. A symptom check will be done, including a temperature check. Any vehicles containing a symptomatic person will be asked to turn around and leave camp. Scouts who are dismissed for exhibiting symptoms must be cleared by a healthcare provider before returning to camp. COVID-19 is a new disease, and there is limited information regarding risk factors for severe illness. Based on currently available information and clinical expertise, older adults and people of any age who have serious underlying medical conditions like heart or lung disease, diabetes, obesity, or a weakened immune system might be at a higher risk for severe illness from COVID-19. Persons considered at high risk are encouraged to remain at home. If you are classified as a vulnerable individual, you must receive clearance from your healthcare provider in order to attend camp this year. So, Robert, I know that we have some specific changes to the various program areas. Would you mind answering some questions about those?
Yeah, so the program update we're rolling out this week speaks to a lot of specific spots of camp regarding scheduling and merit badge offerings. And it's going to be a really helpful resource for units planning to come to summer camp, just to get a feel for what day-to-day camp life looks like. So it talks about merit badges, talks about scheduling, it talks about campfires, flag ceremonies, our scuba program, our angler adventure program, and that's the current update can be found on the Gulfstream Council website under the summer camp page. And check back there for the future. It's going to be a living document. There's going to be things added to it. But as we continue to roll out updates, we will be informing our campers.
I spoke a little earlier about cohorts. How will cohorts be assigned?
So each of our cohorts are going to be assigned by their individual campsite. And so we've heard a lot of information coming here and there from what the cohort method is. And from at first glance, it may seem a little intimidating for our campers and unit leaders, but I'm going to explain kind of the details of it and why we're implementing it this summer. So think of your cohort as sort of as a patrol, and each of these cohorts will be assigned to its own campsite. And as you go through camp, your cohort or patrol will be moving out around camp through the different program areas as a group. And so when we assign cohorts or assign the campsite arrangements, we're going to be assigning them on a few factors. Our units are going to be kept together. So if your unit is registered, you're going to be going through camp together as a unit. We will be pairing certain units with each other, and how that's going to be assessed is based on your geographic location. We don't want to pair a unit within a campsite with a unit perhaps from a low-risk county for COVID with another unit from a high-risk county for COVID. So we're keeping that in mind. We want to mitigate the risk associated, but you will likely be paired, your unit will likely be paired with another unit from your same county. And then the last factor in there is group size. So the Florida Safe Smart Reopening Plan limits group sizes to groups of 50. However, just out of abundance of caution, we've decided that our cohorts are not going to exceed 30 people. So your individual cohort between the unit you're with and your unit, total participants will not exceed 30. And then between working with staff, we're never going to reach close to that 50-person limit. We still expect to be into the phase 2, which is where that limit comes in by the time we get to camp. But of course, in any of these circumstances, if we progress to phase 3, we're going to take a look and see if and how we can ease some of these things.
Well, what about our provisional campers? Will they be assigned to a cohort?
Yeah, so just like previous years, our provisional campers will join what we call the provisional unit. And just like your units moving around camp and their cohort, the provisional unit is going to be split actually into 2 cohorts, each occupying a different campsite. And the reason we did this was because of, and Alec mentioned it earlier, was the tenting arrangements. A single occupancy in tents. So we did have to spread out a provisional unit. So there'll be 2 provisional units this summer, and they'll be moving around as 2 separate cohorts.
When will participants know which cohort they'll be assigned to?
Very, very soon. So as we finish rolling out some of these program adjustments, our goal today was to get out to you guys the information about merit badge classes so we can get the process rolling and registering for those. We're going to talk about that in a minute. As we get closer to camp and the final numbers trickle in, we're going to do the campsite assignments through Tenaroo, and that's going to tell you which cohort you're assigned to. We're going to be reaching out individually to the unit leaders, and so you get be acquainted with your cohort before you arrive, and make check-in very, very simple.
This whole cohort approach is really different. If scouts are moving with their cohort, how will class scheduling work?
So one of the biggest obstacles we found is both class scheduling and what we can offer as far as merit badges. So with being that the scouts are going to be moving together as a cohort between program areas, we've had to modify a little bit about what we're offering based on facility limits and staffing limits, but we still have a pretty wide option of what's being offered. So I'll kind of summarize some of the changes we made as far as scheduling. The big one is that we're consolidating our daily merit badge schedule into 2 blocks. So usually it's 3 blocks. We usually do a big 4-hour block in the morning and then a 2-hour block accompanied by a 1-hour block in the afternoon. This year, it's going to be a 4-hour block, an AM block in the morning, and a second PM block in the afternoon, also 4 hours. So it'll be 2 blocks per day of merit badge instruction. As your cohort is moving between different program areas, once you arrive to a program area, and I use this word a lot, that includes stuff like handicraft and digitech, aquatics. When your cohort is assigned to a program area, you will be the only cohort in that program area. So when you arrive to that area, your scouts will be able to choose from a variety of merit badges. And so what we've done, and I'll talk about it again in a minute, is we've opened class registration considering these changes. You can go ahead and sign up for classes, and when you arrive to, for example, aquatics, you will go ahead and take your aquatics merit badges. So your unit will get to go around, you'll get to experience all of camp, and when you're at a location, you're going to be the only ones assigned to that location. And that's, again, maintaining the integrity of the cohorts limits the opportunity for a widespread outbreak in camp. We're going to be sanitizing surfaces and frequently used items, shared materials, everything like that in the program areas between rotations. And so the idea of consolidating into 2 blocks was to, 1, limit the amount of traffic that's going around in camp and give us more time in between sessions to sanitize surfaces, door handles, you name it, just to make sure we're mitigating the risk of potential infection on the surface.
Well, it sounds like the schedule and the cohort method will allow for fewer available merit badges. Does that mean that participants have to re-register for classes?
Yes, but no one should be worried. Class registration has been made relatively simple using this method. I'm going to talk a little bit about how that's going to work on your Tenaroo registration account. So we're going to be uploading to the Tanakita Summer Camp page at www.gulfstreamcouncil.org/summercamp with a hyphen in the middle between summer camp. We're going to be uploading a detailed merit badge matrix that talks a little bit about what classes are being offered in which program areas. So before you even log into Tenaroo, you can work with your scouts to figure out what badges they want to get into. So it's a one-stop shop. No logging in over and over frantically trying to figure it out before the last day of summer camp. So essentially what that's going to look like is in Tenaroo, traditionally what merit badge signups have looked like is as you register for your classes, each class is assigned to a time block, right? And so as you fill up your weekly schedule, you would see what spots you have open and what spots you have full. And then it'll tell you, for instance, if you had a spot open that, oh, you have a morning spot on Thursday open, here's the merit badges that are available. Obviously, because we're doing registration by program area, that looks a little differently this summer. So on Tenaroo, what we've done is we've assigned each program area to a specific time block on the registration platform. And what that looks like, for instance, is maybe it's aquatics. And all of our aquatics merit badges are actually going to be off on Tenaroo. They're going to appear to all happen at the same time. And so when you choose which aquatics badge, when you add a scout to an aquatics badge, that's going to be the aquatics badge they get. And as you continue going through, each program area is going to have its own block. So every time you visit a program area, you're going to look at the one on your schedule, and that's going to be the merit badge they take during that program area block. Now, when you print their schedule, it's going to be a little funky. So the schedule is going to show times for each merit badge. We want you this year to just ignore what's on the schedule time-wise. As long as the merit badge you want to take is on your schedule, your scout is going to work on that while they're at summer camp. All right, so there's no worry about missing a class. As we get closer and we assign cohorts and campsites, you're going to know exactly when you're going to hit each program area. The key is to be able to see the merit badge name and the program area. If you don't see one of those two things on your schedule, then you're going to be missing something. So make sure if the merit badge is on there, your scout's going to be in the class, and as they go through the program areas, they're going to work on that merit badge.
Well, have you figured out yet which classes will be available?
Yes, so you can see the full merit badge curriculum on our program update, and we'll also show them here on the screen for you to see. You can see we have offerings in all of our program areas, including aquatics, our Digitech, ecology, handicraft, life skills, outdoor skills, and shooting sports. So while we have to change some of the offerings that we've had in the past, you're still going to get the whole camp experience. You're going to get a chance to go into every program area throughout the week.
But what happens if a scout has all of the merit badges offered in a specific program area?
So we find it really important in this, while we're not offering merit badges in our usual curriculum, we find it really important to still serve the needs of our scouts that are going through our program. So we understand there may be scouts that come to an area, and if we're offering 3 or 4 merit badges in a certain area, they say, well, heck, I already have these merit badges, or I just don't want any of these merit badges. So in every one of our program areas, we're going to be offering an alternate activity. It's going to be along the lines of hands-on instruction, skills instructions with different expert teachers or summer camp staff. There's going to be a lot for you to be able to work on. In some cases, it's going to have to do with the program area. In some cases, it's going to be working on another skill. So there's going to be a wide array of activities. And as we get closer to camp, we're going to be putting out more details on what those activities are. So as you're going through your merit badges and you're asking scouts, hey, what do you want to take? Let me know what you want to take so I can add you to Tenaroo. If they say, I don't want any of these merit badges, don't force them to make a decision. We're going to roll out more of that info as we get closer to camp, but we're going to have those activities in place for those scouts that apply to.
Is Tanakita Summer Camp still offering a first-year camper program?
Yes, we are. So we are glad to be able to still offer our Adventure Trail program, our first year camper program for all of our scouts. And just like previous years, we're going to still be working on our advancement from scout rank up to first class, which we're really excited to be able to offer even in this adjusted format. If anyone who's participated in Adventure Trail in the past, you will know traditionally what we've done is there is a separate campsite specifically for Adventure Trail that the scouts would travel to each day to complete their daily requirements and do their skills instructions. Obviously, under this circumstance, under the cohort method, doing that would compromise the integrity of our cohort. So what we've done is we've set up several Adventure Trail stations that are going to be maintained throughout the different program areas in camp. So as your unit travels around to the separate program areas, there will be a separate Adventure Trail station at a handful of those areas that they'll be able to work with an Adventure Trail staff and complete their requirements that way. So as they move around camp, they're going to complete Adventure Trail just in a different format. But the added bonus to that is it gives them the opportunity to earn several different merit badges. So right now what we're looking at is they're going to be able to work on merit badges in aquatics, in life skills, and for a lot of scouts, that's a good opportunity to earn their swimming merit badge, their first aid merit badge, and if they have those, they can work on other things. But it's an added bonus to this format.
Have any modifications been made to the scuba certification programs?
So part of our operational changes as regards to COVID-19 included the elimination of any off-site excursions. So the reason we did that is to reduce the risk of community exposure. But as anyone who has participated in any of our scuba programs know, a lot of the instruction that we do happens off-site with the Jupiter Dive Center. We've been working very diligently with the Jupiter Dive Center and their instructors to offer a alternative program for scouts that are taking scuba. So what that's going to look like is during camp, your scouts are going to be completing a lot of the book work and the pool instruction, as well as some of the exams that go along with that. After camp, what's going to happen is we have several dive days that have been scheduled, and you can see those in the program update. Those opportunities are for your scouts to go with Jupiter Dive on a separate day after camp. It's near the end of July to go out and finish their extra dives to get their certification. So through our scuba program, your scouts will still get their PADI certifications. They're still going to get their scuba merit badge. But in order to get those completions, our scouts do have to attend those separate off-site dive. We call them dive days. So if they don't attend the dive days, they're not going to finish their certifications. So make sure you can take a look in the program update, look at those alternative dates, and make sure that you are available. Now, if you aren't available to attend any of those scheduled dive days, let us know. So we included on that form the contact information for Lisa Carroll. She works with the Jupiter Dive Center. And she is more than willing to sit down and schedule something else with your scouts to make sure they finish the certification. They care a lot about making sure that, the scouts get their full scuba experience during camp.
I didn't hear anything about the add-on dives. Has anything happened with them?
So under this model, what we've usually done in the past is our add-on dives were a separate excursion that scouts could do whether or not they were participating in scuba. We want to focus on specifically the scouts that are registered to complete their certification, so we aren't going to fulfill those add-on dives. So if you were someone who is registered for an add-on dive, they were on Friday morning, if you were someone who had that on your schedule, you're paid, we are offering refunds for that. So you can go on the program update forum, see how to get the refund. There's an online refund form, and if you don't hear back from us 2 or 3 business days, just reach out, and we will get back to you shortly on that.
What's going on with Angler Adventure?
So our Angler Adventure program is become really one of our most popular adventure programs that we've offered. So we made the program possible through a partnership with the FWC. So considering the offsite excursions policy that we put in, we found, we had to make some modifications to the Angler Adventure program. We are happy to still be offering it. However, again, we've eliminated all the offsite excursions. So they're going to be meeting Monday through Wednesday and doing various skills and instructions on the boats. We do have the Loxahatchee River, we have Clear Lake, so they have ample space to do a lot of the instruction. We have eliminated some factors, fishing on the jetty and the deep sea fishing. So in accordance to that, we've also decided to make a change to the price point that adventure comes at. So normally that adventure costs around $80. This summer, we're only going to charge $45. And so that covers the cost for materials, instructional supplies with FWC. That covers the t-shirt. They get a nice adventure shirt that comes to long sleeve, moisture wicking shirt. And they get an Angler Adventure patch. So those things are included in the class fee. But right now, we've decided that we are going to accept limited new registrations. And so if you think you're a scout and you want to participate in Angler Adventure, there's an email on that form. Reach out to me. My email is robert.org@scouting.org. If you want to inquire about additional spots for Angler Adventure, just reach out and we'd be glad to get you in touch.
Can you tell us what meals in the dining hall will look like?
So you spoke a little bit earlier about some of the operational and cleanliness standards in the dining hall. So obviously our kitchen has already maintained a Florida Safe Serve standards, which are already aimed at mitigating the risk of viruses and other foodborne illnesses. Inside the dining hall, what's going to happen is when your campers are ready to enter, there are going to be staggered meal times. And so just like previous years, the dining hall is going to be split in half with a serving line going right down the middle. Half of our cohorts will utilize the north side of the dining hall and half will use the south side of the dining hall. So you're going to report to the dining hall at your assigned meal shift. It's a 20-minute meal service. And so what will happen is you'll enter, we'll have hand washing stations or hand sanitizer right there for your scouts to clean their hands. They're going to put the masks on. And as they go through the meal line, they're going to keep their masks on until they take their meal and they go sit down. Once they've sat down, they can remove the masks and enjoy their meal. Our staff serving meals are going to have their gloves on, they're going to have the hair nets or hats, and they're going to have masks. But we're really excited this summer, especially our certified executive chef, Chef August, he is returning, and we're really excited to have really awesome meals prepared by our kitchen staff.
Do you have any idea what the evening program is going to look like?
Yeah, so our evening program in a normal summer would look like once everyone has finished dinner and gone off to their campsites, scouts from all over would be participating in a variety of programs, from movie nights to dodgeball tournaments to night swims. So this summer we make a few modifications to that. Each of our cohorts are actually going to be designated to both each night a campsite activity and a camp-wide activity. And so I use camp-wide in a certain way. So our campsite activities are going to be happening in your campsite. So each night, our summer camp staff are going to bring to your campsite for just your cohort a certain activity, whether it be movie night in the campsite or board game night or anything along those lines. The other activity I call the camp-wide event, but really just a camp event, is your cohort will travel to a spot in camp and there'll be an activity set up for you to do alone as a cohort. So that may include a telescope workshop in ecology. We have a night swim scheduled for the cohorts as well as a few other things. But your cohort's going to get the chance to do each of our programs in the evenings throughout the week.
I know we want to keep our adult leaders in mind. What activities will be offered for them?
Yep, so we're working hard on an adult leader program plan that really considers the supervision aspect of the cohorts. So obviously this summer we're going to be relying a lot more on our adult leaders, and coming as an adult leader to camp is going to look a little different than summers before, because we're going to need help supervising the cohorts, making sure we're maintaining physical distancing and masks where practical. So we're going to be relying on our adult leaders there. But we do find it really important to make sure our adults are still coming to camp and they're still having a great time. We don't want it to just be a chaperoning job. So as we get closer to camp, we're going to put out more information about what trainings and activities, games that are going to be exclusive for our adult leaders to help make their time enjoyable at Tonakita Summer Camp.
What modifications will be made to allow for physical distancing and camp-wide events such as flag ceremonies and campfire programs?
Yep, so we're going to be doing a few things with our flag ceremonies and campfire events. So to start, we decided it was maybe problematic to maintain physical distancing and stuff like flag assemblies where everyone's in lines and really close to each other, especially going into the dining hall after that. Same with campfires, right? We're all sitting together in the OA ring, body next to body. So obviously in those formats, maintaining physical distancing becomes a challenge. And even if we have masks on, it's still a challenge. So what we've decided to do is we're going to bring those activities into the campsites, into the cohorts. So morning and in the evening flag ceremonies are going to actually be done inside your campsite. So a small squad of staff camp staff are going to come to your campsite. They're going to run a really fun and exciting flag ceremony. We're going to actually encourage the scouts to become involved in the campsite ceremony. So we do our big announcement song. We do songs, cheers, chants, and everything like that. So we're going to really involve the units in that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then the second part of that was campfires. So same thing with the campfires. We're looking at bringing those into the campsites. So what's going to happen is our staff is going to be rotating through the campsites. They're going to bring a song, a game, an activity, a skit into your campsite. Your only job is to keep a campfire going. It's going to be a fun experience, and it's going to be done right at the unit level.
Wow, Robert, those sure are a lot of changes to summer camp, but it all sounds very exciting. But my final question is this: do our troops and our families, should they be expecting any additional changes to the program?
As far as sanitizing and our operational procedures, we're going to keep adhering to the guidance that's coming out from the Florida Health Department, from the CDC, and anything that we have to change as far as, on that aspect goes, we're going to let you guys know, our campers know. Obviously, we're still planning on being in phase 2 by the time we get to camp. And the event we progress to phase 3, we'll make those decisions if and how we can ease some of these things. But, as a camp, we're going to be planning on phase 2. And we're taking, a very high level of precaution, even higher than what's been recommended to us, just to help maintain the health of our campers and just have a fun camp experience. As far as program, we are going to be rolling out some additional things that aren't covered in this program update. And that's things like the trading post, some more information about what check-in and check-out is going to look like, as well as some of the adult leader activities and troop cook night. So those are things that haven't been covered yet, but they will be coming out. We just wanted to make sure that today we got you guys information about what the schedule is going to look like and what merit badge offerings, class signups are going to look like, because we have to get the ball rolling on signing up for badges that we're ready for the camp time. At any point, if you have questions, concerns that you want us to answer, don't hesitate to shoot us an email. You can email Alec at alec.connolly@scouting.org, and you can email me, myself, Robert Ulrich, at robert.ulrich@scouting.org. We look forward to hearing from you guys, and we're really looking forward to having a very, very fun summer camp. It's going to look a little different, but we're not going to compromise in fun. We're going to have a great time this summer. Our campers are looking forward to it. Our adult leaders are looking forward to getting the kids out of the house. We're looking forward to having a really, really fun summer camp. So we're going to see you there. Thank you.
Robert, I want to thank you for all your hard work on putting summer camp together in these trying times, and I also want to thank the folks for their patience and for being with us today. If you still have questions, as Robert said, you can email them to us. But I'd also encourage you to take a look at the summer camp program update on the council website. That goes into much greater detail than we did here today. But thanks for joining us, and we're looking forward to seeing you all at summer camp.